What? Guess what time it is? It's 11:11. I got a new phone. I got my phone situation, well, partially worked out. It's never really all the way worked out, is it? Anyway, I'm here as usual to do a quick body check. And I invite you to join me if you feel like it, to whatever degree you feel like it. I'll see if I can fix that glare at all. Maybe. We'll figure it out. It's all a work in progress. Anyhow, I'm here to keep an agreement with myself and check in with my body. Do just a little deep breathing, letting go of stress, and I invite you to join me to whatever degree feels good in your body. If it does, I encourage you to at the very least take a deep breath and let it go. Let's try it. Let your arms swing a little bit. Let's do a couple more of those. Breathing in, you can shrug the shoulders. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. How about one more deep breath? I'm just letting that go. Letting the arms swing. I'm going to take another breath or so and just bring my attention into the bottoms of my feet. Rooting myself into the center of the earth. Rooting myself into the center of the universe. And then I'm going to take another nice deep breath and slow roll down, just checking in with the spine, noticing where there's stiffness, where there's stickiness, where there's suppleness. Just encouraging things to relax a little bit and checking in with the body. And then coming down as far as is comfortable to hang from the hips. That's past the waist. Relaxing the belly, and I'm just going to hang here for a breath or so. Shake out the neck. Add a nice another deep sigh. And then I'm going to roll up, pushing from the bottoms of the feet, tipping the tailbone under. And rolling up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Still just checking in with that spine. Shake that out. Thank you for the love. I do appreciate it. It's good to see you out there. I hope you're remembering to take care of you. Add a little silliness and a little more smiling and stretching and strength. Flexibility and fun and fitness to your life. That's what I'm preaching about. I'm going to take another forward bend, this time with a relatively flat back. Making sure not to lock the knees and still grounding through the bottoms of the feet. Relatively flat back. I'm going to swan dive down. Again from the hips, that's past the waist. All the way down to just hang here. I encourage you to add a nice sigh. Feels good. I think I'm a little congested. I'm going to come up from the waist now, pulling up in the pelvic floor, back in the abdomen. Pulling back in, that would be the waist, and left elbow over right. Just give myself a nice hug, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone and the chin. Really just pushing into that roundness. The shoulders, a nice squeeze. And then releasing all that again from the hips, coming back down into that forward fold. Relaxing the belly, try not to lock those knees, checking in with the bottoms of the feet and the neck and the shoulders. And then I'm going to come up this time right elbow over left, and again pulling back in the abdomen, up in the pelvic floor, rounding the spine, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone. Giving a nice squeeze to the shoulders. That feels good. And then releasing all that again from the hips. Down toward the floor. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the back, relaxing the knees. Checking in with the bottoms of the feet. And then I'm going to bend the knees, swing the arms back. Coming into a counter stretch, pushing those hips forward, lifting the eyes and the chest. Just enjoying that for a breath or so. And then let's come back to upright, center, front and center. Just letting the arms swing. I find this helpful for getting rid of stress sometimes too, just shaking it off. Sounds simple, and it is, but just because something simple doesn't mean it's not effective, in my experience. Like breathing, that is very simple and very effective, actually. I'm going to turn back this way and step back with the left foot into a moderate lunge, pulling that back hip forward and the forward hip back, pressing into that back heel, checking that this front knee isn't crunching past the front toes, tipping the tailbone under a little bit, and enjoying a nice strong pose here for a breath or so. I'm just going to relax into that a little bit, and then bringing hands forward, rolling those shoulders back and down, and focusing with sharp focus on the tips of my fingers. Try not to fall over there. Feel a little wobbly. Check the feet are relatively parallel, although sometimes that back heel wants to be at an angle. That's okay too. And then I'm going to use soft eyes to gaze out toward the imaginary horizon, noticing my peripheral view. And then back to sharp focus on the fingertips. Still pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back, tucking the tailbone under a little bit. And again, soft eyes looking out at the horizon, all the way around the world to see the back of my own head. Trying to fall over from the awesomeness of it. And sharp focus again on my fingertips. And then I'm going to shift this back heel because I'm starting to feel it in that back leg. I don't know about you. But I'm going to shift the back heel onto the perpendicular line now. Opening this hip, these hips, swinging this knee that way and opening this hip this way. Checking in on this side plane here. Adjust that back leg a little bit to still make sure this front leg is not crunching past those toes. Looking for around a 90-degree angle there. And then I'm going to bend from the hips into a side aeroplane pose, sliding that foot out a little bit more. Getting a nice diagonal sensation out that heel, through the body, and up out the fingertips. Bringing this hand down on the inside of that leg for a nice deep lunge. And then I'm going to bring weight onto those hands and bring that front foot back to meet the back foot. And pressing through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone back toward the back of the head. Pressing into those heels. Tread those heels a little bit, pressing into the left heel, bending the right knee. Bending the left knee, pressing into the right. And again, pressing into the left. And to the right. And back into both heels, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head. Fingers are wide, strong palms. Pressing the heart toward the center of the earth. Pressing the heels into the earth. And then I'm going to swing the left foot up between the hands. Another nice deep lunge. I like to bounce there. You bounce if you like to bounce, or don't bounce if you don't want to bounce. Be sure to listen to your own body, respect your own body. And I'm going to step forward, bringing weight onto this front foot first. Stepping forward with that back foot. Just going to shuffle to stay in camera a little bit. And back into forward fold, relaxing the belly, relaxing the back. And the head and neck. And then bending the knees, swinging the arms back, coming into that counter stretch again. I gotta adjust to not hit dome. Just pushing the hips forward, lifting the eyes and chest. And then coming back to front and center. It's good to see you out there. I'm going to step back with the right foot now. Do the other side of a half of a sun salutation. Is some rough foundation of what I'm doing here, in case you're wondering. I'm stepping back with the right foot, pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back. I just realized it would actually be a moon salutation, wouldn't it? And the moon is up there, right over there. Looks pretty tonight. Pushing into that back heel, checking that this front knee is not crunching past the front toes. Tipping the tailbone under a little bit. Nice and long and strong through that core. Feet are relatively parallel. Just enjoying that strong pose. And then I'm going to bring the arms up and forward and rolling those shoulders down and back a little bit. And bringing sharp eyes, sharp focus to those fingertips. Let's have a little sigh there. And then soft eyes, gazing out past the imaginary horizon to see the back of my own head. And then sharp focus again on those fingertips. Still pulling those hips into a perpendicular line with my parallel feet. And then soft eyes again, noticing my peripheral view. Looking all the way around the universe, around my own heart. See the back of my own head. And then I'm going to shift this back heel onto the perpendicular line. I'm going to be facing away from you because that's the way this is working out. So shifting that heel onto the perpendicular line, opening the hips again, shifting this left knee out this way and this right hip out this way. Sliding this foot out just a little bit, looking for a nice stable feeling through the core again. And checking out the side plane here. Still pulling up in the pelvic floor, back in the abdomen a little bit, tucking the tailbone under, and then bending from the hips. I'm going to come into a deep side aeroplane pose, sliding that back foot out a little bit, using my left arm and leg against each other for torque and support. Try not to collapse on that side. Nice and long and strong, and feeling into that diagonal line, out the heel, through the body, out those fingertips. And then shifting onto the back toes, bringing both hands down on the inside of that right foot for a nice deep lunge there. And bring weight onto both hands. I'm going to bring that front foot back to meet the back foot. Pressing again into a downward facing dog or upside down triangle or tent pose. Pressing the heart toward the center of the earth. Tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head. Palms are wide, pressing through the spine. I'm going to swing the body forward. Lifting the chest through the shoulders, letting the belly drop. Keeping the legs together. lifting the eyes and the chest, just relaxing the belly, keeping the butt and the legs together to protect that low back. Again, you listen to your own body. I like to kind of rock on those toes just a little bit to increase that stretch along the front. Feels good to me. You can play with stretching from one side to the next as well. Sometimes that feels good. And then lifting those hips, pressing back through the palms, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, pressing into those heels, pressing the heart toward the earth. Nice and long and strong through the core. And then I'm going to swing that right foot forward in between the hands into a nice deep lunge again on the other side. Enjoy a nice bounce and a nice sigh and a nice smile. Hey Kelly and Dean and Harmony, it's great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Sunday evening to you. I step forward with that back foot. Hanging here in forward fold again. Just relaxing through the belly, through the back. Letting go of the head and the neck and the shoulders. I'm going to bring hands behind back, clasping hands, rolling those shoulder blades towards each other, rolling elbows towards each other, and bring these arms down for an increased stretch there through the shoulders and chest. I like to imagine myself a triceratops about here and just explore that. Stretch a little bit. And then pushing through the bottoms of the feet, lifting from the hips with a relatively flat back. And bringing all that up into counter stretch, pulling down, keeping those shoulders still relatively together, pushing forward with the hips. And then back to neutral or central. Shake all that out. That was a good stretch. I haven't been doing my full stretches for a while. Just starting to get back to feeling healed up enough to do arm work. My elbow's still sore, but it's definitely most of the way healed. Yay! It's amazing. Amazing what the body can do if you just get out of the way and let it heal itself. I'm going to do just a little stretching of the, or balancing rather, and stretching of the lower body. So bringing weight onto the right leg, bringing this left knee up toward left shoulder, relaxing in that supporting foot, tipping the tailbone under, dropping those shoulders, pulling that knee up a little bit higher. Let's add a little ankle rotation here. Don't forget you can always do this near a wall or in a doorway. If you know, it's better to use support than to fall over. If you do fall over, bend your knees and roll. You can practice falling. It's a good skill to have, actually. And lift that knee just a little bit more. Still dropping the shoulders, tucking the tailbone under. Relaxing that supporting side. Try not to counter lean, even if you're using support. A lot of times I just use an imaginary support there, or actual support here. More ideally, I'll set that down and stomp it out, and bring weight over to the left side. Bring this right foot up. Relax myself on that supporting side, bringing this right knee up toward right shoulder. Tipping the tailbone under, dropping those shoulders, bringing that knee up a little bit more. Let's do some ankle rotations on this side. And on the other way. knee up a little bit higher. Still nice and long and strong through that supporting side. Relaxing that supporting foot. Dropping those shoulders. If possible, breathing and smiling as well. Set that down. Stomp it out a little bit. Shake it off a little bit. I think I'm going to go finish drinking my tea and wind down for the rest of the evening. Sure, it's good to see some of you out there. I hope you remember that you are worthy of your own unconditional love. There's no right or wrong way to check in with yourself and learn to love yourself a little more, get a little more fit, get a little more free. You can count on me to keep trying and trying again. I'll be keeping at it. I trust you to keep at it. Ciao for now.